Hello and welcome to Day 3 of CEC TV, your inside look at all the excitement happening right here at the CEC convention in Baltimore. This week, we're bringing you exclusive interviews with CEC leadership and experts, first-hand reactions from attendees, and thought-provoking segments from leading institutes across the country, all designed to inspire and advance the field of special education. Catch CEC TV on screens throughout the convention center and across social media. And most importantly, let's keep the conversation going. Share what you see, connect with fellow educators, and collaborate on the ideas shaping the future of special education. Stay tuned. CEC TV starts right now.
The mission of the Special Education Department first is to prepare highly qualified special educators that are culturally responsive and that implement evidence-based practices in their classrooms and are inclusive. We also our faculty focus on conducting research that helps improve the outcomes of individuals with disabilities. We have faculty who are conducting very innovative research in different areas, in sensory disabilities, in behavior, faculty who are looking at teacher preparation programs, assistive technology, including artificial intelligence as well. One of the biggest recommendations from our districts is to prepare educators who know how to work with multilingual learners who have disabilities. So we have focused on integrating a lot of those aspects in our curriculum as well as technology. And now with artificial intelligence, we're looking into how we can integrate meaningfully those skills and components into our curriculum.
I would say one of the biggest opportunities I've been able to experience is the amount of clinical experiences we get through our program. Starting our freshman year, we're already in classes relating to our plan of study. And then moving on from that, sophomore year, we have laboratory schools on our campus. So we're able to work with all different ages, pre-K through 12th grade, and really get that taste starting young. So then, here I am as a junior now, working in the schools, starting in practicum and in clinicals. I'm with mentor teachers and current special educators, and I'm being educated by professionals in the field, in classes, and just being able to have that hands-on learning experience throughout all of our classes, starting almost your first day, jumping into the classroom, jumping into work, has been one of the most amazing opportunities this program has given me.
Pulse. Paraprofessionals unlocking licensure in special education, fully online 2-year program.
PULSE, which stands for Paraprofessionals Unlocking Licensure in Special Education, is a program for paraprofessionals to become special educators in 2 years and still continue to work within their field. When we designed this program, we designed it with these professionals in mind, and it really kind of made us look at what our traditional program looked like as well. But for Pulse, it's such a special program that we give a lot of support, extra support for these paraprofessionals.
We have a academic advisor whose sole purpose is to really support our PULSE candidates from the pre-application stage to make sure that they have all of their prerequisites met before they ever even go through the application process. We also have ongoing communication with the school district, so if there are any changes that need to be made, we're definitely flexible on our end to ensure that they're able to complete their roles and responsibilities that they were hired for as paraprofessionals, and then we're really seeking to be flexible of how we can embed the clinical experience into that.
TOD, TVI, Teacher of the Deaf, Teacher for the Visually Impaired.
Teachers of the deaf become very highly skilled in the areas of language, so they understand language, they understand how to teach language, they understand hearing loss, they take specialized courses in audiology, in speech production, in sign language.
A teacher for the visually impaired provides access to those materials to the general education teacher by ordering, creating, or however it needs to be done so that that student has access to the curriculum. But then there's other things within the curriculum that you wouldn't even think about that a teacher for the visually impaired is able to provide. So a teacher for the visually impaired is going to help that classroom teacher understand how to ensure that that lesson, that activity, that whatever is going on in the classroom is accessible and makes practical sense to our students so that they're able to learn alongside their peers.
So we're very excited to be developing a graduate program because there is a big shortage of teachers of the deaf nationwide, and by opening a pathway for existing teachers to add DHH certification or to become teachers of the deaf, we hope to be able to serve more and more of the children who right now just are not receiving the services that they need.
8+ Project, the Autism Professional Learning and Universal Supports Project.
So the Autism Professional Learning and Universal Supports Project provides multiple opportunities for teachers to engage in professional learning. We come into classrooms and provide coaching support to help teachers increase their implementation of evidence-based practices. So we provide the coaching, the intensive coaching. We provide in-person workshops where we will train small or large groups of staff to walk away with new ideas on how they could better support the students that they are working with. We also provide webinars as well as have an extensive amount of online modules through our online learning.
National Science Foundation Career Grant, Equity in STEM Education for Blind and Low Vision Students.
The biggest barrier that blind and low vision students face in science and more broadly in STEM is actually the idea that STEM is visual. When in fact, STEM isn't visual, it's spatial. One needs to be able to communicate in 2 and 3 dimensions, and sighted scientists do that through visual imagery. Blind scientists do it through tactile imagery, through 3D prints, through sonification, and spatial audio. The aims of the project are to increase the long-term accessibility of technology-mediated high school science by first investigating the knowledge that in-service teachers have of creating more accessible technology-mediated science classes, and then to create learning opportunities for both pre- and in-service teachers. Ultimately, my hope is that we, over time, improve the accessibility of high school science so that blind and low vision students are in a place where they can make an informed choice about their career. So that if they choose to go into something other than STEM, that they do it because they really want to do something else, not because they think they can't do STEM.
One of the best things that the department has provided to us is our CEC Center, which is the Special Education Assistive Technology Center. There we have access to so many incredible assistive technology resources like AAC devices, which my training from our class, SED 207, where we get to learn in the CEC Center, was super helpful for me this past semester when I started my clinical experiences in a first grade classroom. So many of our students use AAC devices, and I remember on our first day, my professor asked if we had knowledge on AAC etiquette, so knowing how to support our students when learning how to use them. And I was able to say yes because of the experiences taught to us at the CEC Center at ISU.
Special Education Assistive Technology CEC Center.
Our main goal really is to prepare educators, both pre-service and in-service educators, to create the most inclusive classroom, school, and community as they possibly can through knowledge about assistive technology, digital accessibility, and digital citizenship. We are really connected with major professional organizations that explore technology. So we have members on our faculty who are part of ISET and really research a lot of technology, whether it's access to literacy for kids with disabilities using technology, mathematics, using artificial intelligence. We are connected with many different school districts across the state of Illinois who are utilizing a lot of different technology. It's really that partnership with the districts that we have that can help us kind of keep our pulse on what's going on in the field. So both from a research perspective, professional organizations, and also connecting with boots on the ground, those in the field.
As a freshman, I didn't necessarily know my place at the university yet, but after my first semester, I was asked to join the Student Ambassador Program for the Department of Special Education, and that opened up a world of opportunities for me. I was able to join a lot of other education-specific organizations here on campus as well as outside of campus. I was able to attend the Special Education Legislative Summit with funding from the Department of Special Education in the summer of 2024 as a part of my honors research project over the summer, which was an incredible experience. I also serve at the local, state, and national level for the National Education Association, representing aspiring educators from all over our country. And then I also have been able to dive into some research with 2 different professors and research teams, and so that has been absolutely incredible. One other way in which we emphasize support for our students and retention for our students is to really focus on their success. We have Student Success and Enrollment Coordinator. We have amazing advisors that support our students throughout their career. Our faculty are also very open and supportive of our students. I think that has created also a great environment for our students, and ultimately that's our goal, that everyone is successful and they're ready for the classroom when they graduate.
Illinois State University Department of Special Education logo.
Good morning, everyone. We are on day 3 of the CEC conference, and today we are joined with the Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Dr. Donna Y. Ford. Good morning, Dr. Ford.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
So we all want to know, this is a tremendous honor. What does receiving this award mean to you, both personally and professionally?
Well, definitely personally, I'm very honored. I grew up very low income, and I want people to know your zip code is not your destiny. And then I'm Black, so we don't have the same experiences as some others. So the opportunity personally is just wonderful. It means so much to me. It does.
That's great. Congratulations. It is a big honor. So you have dedicated your career to advocating for equity and excellence for gifted and special education. Looking back, what do you feel are your most significant contributions that you hope will have a lasting impact on the field?
Well, I'm going to try to summarize it briefly. Frankly, I'm proud to say I've written over 370 articles and chapters, as well as I have, I think, 15 books. So I've just tried to write. So, but when it comes to what I'm most proud of, one is that I just never give up in terms of advocating for equity and to end racism or ableism, etc., other isms in school settings. I'm not trying to address the larger society as much. Let me just hone in on schools. Okay, so, leaving, this writing is very important to me. But also, I developed, I was one of the first people to talk about not just recruiting underrepresented students in gifted and talented education, as well as advanced placement, but also retaining them. So recruitment and retention. It's not enough just to get us in there. We must keep our students, in there. I am so proud of my Bloom-Banks matrix. So that matrix combines Bloom's taxonomy with James Banks's 4 levels of how to infuse multicultural content into the curriculum. And it's the only one of its kind for curriculum development. And let me just say the last one is based on a court case that I was the expert witness in Elgin, Illinois. All right, not that I lived there, but I was the expert witness. I was able to create what's called my equity formula. And this is where you can calculate what the minimum representation should be for minoritized students and what the maximum should be. So like the minimum in gifted education and the maximum in special education. But you do that for all groups so that you can stop giving lip service to equity, but quantify equity. Set these goals, and you got to meet the minimum. You don't go over the maximum.
That is fantastic. And where can educators find your writings?
Well, some of them are on my personal website, which is drdonawayford.com. You can also do like Google alerts. All right, you can do look into Google Scholar, ResearchGate. It's just, like I said, so many. I can't put all of them on my personal website, but maybe there's a dozen.
But so people can start on your website and then search further from there.
there.
That's great.
Yeah.
As you receive this Lifetime Achievement Award, what advice do you have for other educators and researchers who are also committed to continuing this fight for educational equity and inclusion?
Well, you got to stay committed to your values, and if you do otherwise, you're gonna not be true to yourself, and frankly, you're gonna look hypocritical, and I don't think that's what you want to do. And you're gonna, put a break in this legacy that you want to build. So don't allow yourself to be silenced. Don't choose to be silent. Be true to your professional and personal goals. This anti-DEI situation, I'm just praying that it's temporary, but in spite of this, it's actually made me more determined to do DEI work, pro-DEI work, and to support and help others do the same. So the key is keep publishing and keep speaking up. Publish, publish, publish. And not just in journals, not just in chapters, but many times you can reach a larger audience in social media outlets. And I'm not talking about like Facebook and those kinds of things, but like diverse issues in higher education, for example, and then other outlets.
That is so wonderful. We wish you congratulations again on this Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you for joining us this morning and sharing all your wealth of knowledge. We really appreciate it.
The best piece of advice to remember is that in stress management, it's important for you to know these three things. Know, assess, reduce your stress. You have to first know what you're dealing with. Then you need to assess the level at which you're responding to it. Then you can pick the right coping method for yourself.
I am giving advice to all teachers who are here at the CEC convention. It's just so important for us as teachers to learn as much as we can about the science of reading and structured literacy for all of our students. Reading's an equity issue, and all of us here at the conference are really passionate about what we do for students, and we want all teachers to provide as much as we can with the right tools and the right materials in our classrooms. At Wilson Language Training, we are really passionate about ensuring that teachers have the right tools and are trained to provide them with the best success for our students. So I hope that everybody here has a wonderful conference, and I know that you are all the change makers that will make reading and education happen with equity for all of our students, regardless of the level, their background, or where they go to school. Have a wonderful conference.
My name is Fred Idora, and I'm the co-director for the Rhonda Weiss Center for Accessible IDEA Data. The Rhonda Weiss Center is a technical assistance data center sponsored by the Office of Special Education Programs at the U.S. Department of Education. We at AEM Corporation are extremely proud to be able to lead the work that will help change the accessibility conversation nationally to ensure that individuals with disabilities can get better access to IDEA Part B and Part C data. We have partners that are very uniquely qualified at the Center for Inclusive Design and Innovation at Georgia Tech, and we are very glad to be able to partner with them to be able to provide more information and more assistance to states to be able to help them make IDEA data more accessible. In the education data world today, accessibility really is an afterthought. We really want to flip that script around. We want to flip it upside down where accessibility is first in everyone's mind, to start from collection, to start at that stage and have accessibility go through the entire reporting process. Individuals with disabilities are a critical part of the data. And the mission and philosophy of the Weiss Center is nothing about us without us. We really want to ensure that if the data is being reported about them, we want them to be part of the conversation from the very beginning.
My name is Johan Rempel. I'm the co-director for the Weiss Center for Accessible IDEA Data. When we talk about data accessibility, we're really talking about making data accessible for everyone, regardless of whether a person has a disability or not. It's important to keep in mind that the children with disabilities of today are going to be the adults with disabilities tomorrow. And it's absolutely crucial that they have a seat at the table and that they have full and equitable access to data. I'm honored to be working with AEM in ensuring that we're building a more equitable environment for people with disabilities.
The Weiss Center is developing an accessible reporting solution called ADAPT, which means the Accessible Data Analysis and Publishing Tool. ADAPT can help both individuals with disabilities and state education agencies meaningfully engage with the data. It'll help individuals with disabilities, and frankly anyone that uses ADAPT, to be able to tailor their experience in a way that can be most comfortable for them. It'll also help state education agencies better engage with stakeholders using the data so that way they can have better meaningful conversations that can help individuals with disabilities within school districts around the country. So ADAPT will help states publish reports that are 508 compliant. But it's not just about compliance, it's about people too. And we want to ensure that the reports that are being developed will help states meaningfully engage with stakeholders within their communities and within their states.
My name is Glenna Wright Gallo, and I'm the Assistant Secretary of OSERS, the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services at the Department of Ed. I'm most excited about the Weiss Center bringing the opportunity for accessible data. As a person with a disability, I've found that not everything is accessible on the front end and that frequently people have to wait in order to be able to access things. We don't have time to wait when it comes to improving outcomes for children with disabilities and making sure that we have things in an accessible format. Data, materials, technology, all of those things are going to be key towards moving forward with our improvement plans and really impacting the lives of children with disabilities.
My name is Alana Hirsch. I'm a proofreader and accessibility specialist at WestEd, and I am Rhonda Weiss's daughter. What's so special about having this center named after my mother is that it's a real labor of love, and I think it's so indicative of like the legacy she left and the impact she made on disability rights, on the legacy of IDEA. I think the goals and like mission of this center are gonna leave the world a little bit better than the one she left far too soon, and that's amazing to me, and that's why I'm like happy to be a part of it in any small way.
The work that we do through the Weiss Center is very personal and meaningful to me. I was born with a significant visual impairment.
I'm an individual with a disability. I have autism, and I understand, I know what it was like when you're not included in the conversation, when you're not part of the things that are about you.
It only was in my adult years that I realized that this was more about a consequence of the environment versus a personal shortcoming of my own.
And we want to change that. We want to change that conversation for states around the country. And it is an honor to be able to lead work where we can be able to do that. And it is my hope that we can change that conversation for people in the future, for states as well as Part C providers.
One of the things that I am most interested in is the AI technology and how it can be used with the special education classroom. And as a teacher, I know that it's developing and we're getting a lot of theories. I've noticed a lot of college professors who are here presenting, and we're hearing theory, but one of the things that I feel that we need to really stress is practical information that teachers can take right back immediately into the classroom. Theory is wonderful, but just for example, one of the sessions that I attended was just a practical suggestion as generating a bunch of different number lines in which you can immediately take back into the classroom. And having those little tidbits of, immediately practical, what we can do right away makes a difference. So those are the things that I'm hoping to find over here. And it's been wonderful so far, it really has.
Swift Education Center is focused on transformation of education in partnership with educators across the country. We work with state and local educators, district educators, school administrators to implement effective evidence-based practices within a framework to improve student outcomes. Our mission and our vision is rightful presence for each and every student, particularly with attention on students who have exceptionalities.
In the design of MTSS, I don't think I've ever worked with a state agency, with a district, or with a site that ever used anything other than the heuristic of MTSS in a tiered system that did not have all as part of its tier 1. And we have to recognize that, even humbling when I was in a district, we said all, but it didn't include all. So MTSS affords us this opportunity to focus on a system, recognize how we capitalize on our teaming structures, and really lean into our grade level teams or departments or professional learning communities, whatever our main pieces around our general education teachers, and expand those teams for different conversations to be able to always be strengthening our system. I remember when I got involved with a multi-tiered system of support, and at the time, we didn't have research on the system, the MTSS as a system. We had research and evidence around particular practices that were part of what we would call MTSS, but now we have research behind the system of MTSS.
We use various research design where we can analyze academic outcomes, which includes state assessment scores or benchmark scores, and especially for students with disabilities, we also analyze the least restrictive educational environment. So we are interested in how students are moving to more inclusive education setting. So we plan to incorporate the qualitative research findings into quantitative research findings, and then see if we can understand the school change much better with the comprehensive analysis results. So yeah, we are doing lots of research work, and we are always excited about findings about it.
I think the best way for educators to promote equity and justice in the classroom is first and foremost to try to acknowledge and normalize the fact that there are both visible and invisible disabilities. If we can highlight our differences and highlight our commonalities in terms of the things that we struggle with, then we can sort of start to break apart some of the stigma around disability. I would hope educators also would feel brave enough to even bring that whole concept of finding our commonalities into even curriculum or into projects or things like that. Just make it part of what the classroom does, is that we find these bridges between each other and we look at them and we normalize them and we highlight them and we even talk about how they can make us stronger rather than diminish us in any way.
I had this great opportunity to lead a school. It was a dual language immersion school in a community that I really loved. And so it was a great opportunity. And it so happened that at that time, the University of Kansas Swift Center was doing work with Oregon. Dr. Miller came to work with our teams last year, and she said, adults need to stop trying to prove why something doesn't work or to prove why students need to be in special education, but instead, we should be curious and wonder about what does work for them. And this was instrumental in the shift that we had, because now we all use that language, right? Nope, let's not prove about what doesn't work. Instead, let's see what we can find out what does work, so we can get the kiddo to, grow a little bit more or reach a different level of success and hopefully, reach proficiency in a certain area that they're working on.
The time has come for us to do more. And it's time to move towards a deeper understanding of what it means to be a child with an exceptionality, to be a dynamic learner, and to be present within a school community and not have that be questioned. I guess it's not anymore about how do we change the students so that they can belong, but how do we change the environment so it's available and ready for each and every student that walks through that door. That's my big takeaway, my big hope.
I think for me, we've been working with CEC for 51 years right now, and so I want them to know that we're here for the long term. We have their back. We're going to help them out in any way we can with the financial responsibility of the insurance programs that we have. And it makes me feel good to know that we've had that long-standing relationship, and I want them to know that we're here for them and as they are for us.
We are here now with Kuna Tavlin, who is the Senior Policy and Advocacy Advisor for the CEC. Welcome, Kuna. Nice to have you today. So we wanted to ask you, what are the key legislative priorities that CEC is focusing on this year? And how can educators get involved in these advocacy efforts?
Yeah, it's a great question. We have 5 priority areas. And I'll quickly tick through them. They involve protecting the IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, making sure that that law and the other laws around it that support public education are well funded, looking for opportunities to support the special educator profession. And then we also, an additional priority is around school mental health challenges, and finally, any law that touches on students with disabilities, really from infancy through the transition into college and career, is an area that we keep an eye on. Right now, I think our top concern, frankly, is with the changes that we're seeing at the Department of Education. There have been really significant cuts to education research and also to the Offices for Civil Rights. Most of their functions, most of their investigations actually deal with violations, civil rights violations for kids with disabilities. So those are really important functions. And of course, special education is very research-based, evidence-based, and so the research is an incredibly important component for us as well.
That's wonderful, and thank you for sharing all that information. With ongoing discussions about funding for special education at both the federal and state levels, What are some of the biggest challenges in securing adequate resources? And how is the CEC working to address these issues?
Yeah, so IDEA full funding is one of our top issues. Congress pledged to provide 40% of the excess cost to educate a student with a disability. They're currently providing just above 10%. So it's a big deal. I think that we were excited to capitalize on the 50th anniversary of the IDEA. And we work across our membership and with many, many partners in the field to really make that message loud. We were really happy to see a message from Senator Chris Van Hollen, who is one of the leaders of that effort in the Senate this week at our convention. And this is a numbers game. You said, how can people in the public support us? If you go to our Take Action page on our website, exceptionalchildren.org, we've really broken it down for you, so you can email legislators. We have social media toolkits. We have explainers, quick 1 to 2 pagers that provide additional information about the issues we're following, and we encourage everyone to go and check it out.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us. If you want more information on these topics, please be sure to visit the website, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
We are a furniture company that can outfit any of your spaces, indoor and out. And what we do is with the Gen Ed classrooms, we like to move the inclusive features into that room so that they feel and they're comfortable with the other students. Just to give that feeling, we can do some calming corners, anything to your outdoor plays, your sensory outside. So those are the things that we can do. We are a one-stop shop, so we can take you from the consultation, we can do room renderings, all the way to the delivery and installation of your choice.
Our purpose at eLuma is to make sure that every child receives the high quality support that they need to succeed academically and social emotional in the classroom. And we know that there's a shortage of talent to provide that support on site. And so we provide teletherapy for schools to be able to tap into talent across the country, those that have maybe moved out of state, those that maybe have retired but still want to put in a few hours to support students, others that might have a work-life balance that they'd like to achieve. So we provide that talent for students to be able to receive the services virtually that they're not able to receive on site, so that no child goes without.
I think what's really important is, first of all, they should get that all of us here believe in what they're doing, they have a purpose, they have a meaning, right? So I think that's important. From what our perspective, from Play Learn, we want them to get a really renewed sense of energy, and that anything that they can do to improve the quality of the learning environment of the student is integral. It could be a small sensory tool, it could be a sensory space, it could be a sensory room, but we want the students to feel engaged, and the teachers, we want them to know that we support them 100%.
We're so excited to be here at CEC, and at Star Autism Support, we want attendees to come to us and see that we have resources and curriculum and training to support students with all sorts of needs. If you have students in your district who are struggling with behavior and language needs, we have tools to help you, and we'd love to partner with you in making a plan on how best to support your teachers, your caregivers, your administrators, everybody in your district to best meet the needs of your students.
I think to learn, connect, and talk with special education leaders and school district leaders from across the country, really showing our commitment to innovation and furthering our knowledge and understanding of what we do and how we can continue to incorporate those new trends and insights that we receive here this week into what we do every day in finding qualified personnel.
It's important for me to be at CEC
Because when I was a paraprofessional, I was looking for more resources, and CEC really was the thing that provided that for me, and it put me on a journey to just learn more and more, and this is the place to get it. I would frequently visit the exhibitor booths and connect with STAR Autism Support every year, and now the work I do with CEC and STAR is really impactful, not just to the people that I serve, but to me as well.
It's really important for me and my colleagues to be at CEC because we make hands-on learning products, and our mission is to bring learning to life through our products. So we really want to show the world that we have products that meet so many different needs and make learning fun and just a multi-sensory experience. And we also really just want to learn about special education.